All right, Spencer. And how did you know Caitlyn?
Well, we were around the same age. We went to school together, so all through high school, we run each other, we talk, we had lunch at the same time, so we became really close. She was very, very outgoing, very friendly. So it wasn't that hard.
Well, no, what kind of person was she?
She was very smart, very beautiful, very outgoing. She loved to help people. That's one of the reasons why we became so close friends. She just was very easygoing. Like you could laugh and joke, and she was just your perfect friend. If you ever could dream what that would look like. Yeah, it was something.
Well, and she was also a bit of an artist. Did you get to see any of her art?
Yeah, she was very good at that. We had conversations about that because my brother is also really good at that. So we would have a lot of art conversation when she would show me some stuff she's done, because she's very good at it actually. You see a lot of people say they can and can't, but she can draw. She's really good at it.
Yeah. And then did you guys ever hang out outside of high school?
We had times where we did, yeah. During the time of high school, I had a part-time job, so you know how that goes, schools and job. But on my off days, yeah, we hung out whenever I could. Whenever I could get an off day, we would hang out. And during school, like I said, we had a lot of classes together, so we had a lot of school time together as it was. And we had lunch at the same time. So, but yeah, outside of school, we hung out a little bit, when I wasn't working. So,
yeah. And then I guess after a while, she started dating John. Did you get a chance to meet him?
Yeah, he was an all right kind of guy. He was, I'm actually very protective over my friends, so yeah, I investigate that quite a bit when that goes down. But he was a nice man. That's why I was a little bit in shock when they put him in on the investigation. I knew him very well. He's a really nice man. So he's really good. He did it well. I was proud of him.
Great. Can you take me to the time when you first heard about her going missing? Do you remember what that day was like?
Yeah. It was a day I'd like to forget. Yeah, I was actually out of town visiting my nephew in Kentucky when I heard, and I actually came home that next day to return to Fairfield, because I actually lived in Hamilton at the time. So I came all the way back from Lexington, Kentucky to find out what all was going on, get what information I could. I didn't want to believe it at first. A nice, kind girl like that, I just couldn't see nobody ever wanting to harm her. Yeah, it was a very mind-scattering, heartbreaking discovery when I found out. For me to come all the way from Lexington and leave my family and just leave, it had to hit me pretty hard to come all the way home. Yeah, I don't know. And then for her to go missing all that time, it made it a lot worse.
Did you get a chance to participate in any of the searches or anything?
I was able to participate in the searches, but they had a little, like a party there at the Forest. I think it was up there at Forest Park. They had like a big concert in freshman remembrance. I did get a chance to go to that. We had a good time in remembering her, and that was very fun to go out there with a bunch of people she knew and talk about her and reminisce on memories of what we knew about her. But no, I did not get to participate in any of the searches. I was wanting to, but working and not being able, I tried getting days off to where I could. They weren't having that. No, sadly I was not. I was one of the first people called when they found out where they found her. I was actually on my lunch break when I got that call.
Take me back to getting that call. You're at lunch break, you get the call, and who was it that called you?
Well, actually one of my buddies, one of our mutual buddies at high school. His name is Steven. He called me and he's like, buddy, hey, I was on Facebook. And I'm like, oh, okay, what's up? He said, where are you at? I said, well, I'm at work, lunch. He said, you sitting down? I said, yeah. I said, okay, you might want to be. He said, I was getting on my Facebook and I found the report from the news that they found her in Cedar, Indiana, and I dropped the phone. Had to call him back because I hung up on him. I sat there and I cried and I cried, and I left the cafeteria. I went into one of their little offices, the little side rooms they had, and just prayed. That's really the only thing I could do. I had to get my composure together. I had to really reminisce, and go to God about it, because I was just devastated. I was really had my hopes up she was coming home, and they were gonna find her. And to hear that was just the exact opposite.
What kind of job do you think Fairfield Police are doing in the investigation?
Oh Lord, I wish you wouldn't ask that question. I actually have a couple different friends that people I knew that are still unsolved cases. Miss Chelsea Johnson being the other one. I knew her since she was a little baby. Honestly, do I really want to say what I want to say? I really don't think they're doing a good job at all. I don't. Especially with Caitlyn and Chelsea. I don't. And I followed it as thoroughly as I can. I feel like at times they take it lightly. I feel like the whole back and forth between prosecutor stuff that was going on, especially in Caitlyn and Chelsea's case, was just a load of garbage. There's no reason why all these deaths in the last, was it 5 years and none of them been solved? That's just unacceptable, in my opinion. Like I said, me and her, we've done our share of praying. That's all I can do. I'm not an officer of the law. But that's just ridiculous. Somebody's got to get something going. It's very uneasy for the families, for the friends. It's just not right, really.
In all these instances, all these studies, all these TV shows, 99% of the time, it's somebody who knew the victim who did this. And most of the time, it's a male. Did she have anybody in her inner circle, any men that would ever wanted to do her harm?
Not that I'm aware of, no. That's why, if you guys remember, when they first started questioning her boyfriend, I guess that had come up that they had an argument prior, and I was like, I don't see him as one of those people. I don't. He cared for her, he was there for her. Yeah, everybody has, me and her argue all the time, but I'd never harm her. Everybody has their arguments, their disagreements, but when a man does all he can for his woman, that's all you can ask for. And I was in awe. I remember going to my mom in town, and there ain't no way. I don't know of anybody that would unlike her. I mean, everybody has people that are jealous of them, but I don't, as far as putting physical harm to her, no, I really don't. She was sweet, she was kind, she'd give the shirt off your back, would care for you, be the person to come up to you if you're crying, having a bad day. She just really was that kind of person.
Yeah. Do you think the case will ever be solved?
I'm hoping so, not only for Caitlyn, but for Chelsea. I knew them both very well, loved them dearly, would do anything for them. I'm hoping so, not only for her family, her friends, because I know how it is from experience, how hard it is to sit there and know that one of your friends are gone or loved ones are gone, and it seems like nobody's doing nothing about it. And you got to wonder whether it's going to be solved, whether there'll be justice done. I really hope so. I'm praying so. Pray it every day and every night that the person that does it will get his punishment, how the Lord sees fit, and that the Lord will also, comfort the families and give them the peace to move on, and to remember the good times, and to know that they both are in better places.
Fairfield and Hamilton, what kind of place is that to grow up, and what are the people like?
Man, before these murders started going down, I lived in Fairfield for years. I went to Fairfield High School most of my off and on middle school, and most of my high school years, 9th through 12th grade. I loved it. It was very peaceful. You didn't hear much bad things going on out of Fairfield up until these murders started happening. And I'm actually glad my mom and my 50-some-year-old mother and my brother moved out to Hamilton a couple of years before this started. because it's just went south here over the last 5 years. But before that, Hamilton and Fairfield, I've lived a little bit in both. I've lived in Hamilton since 2012, and the rest of my life was, Fairfield for the most part. It was a great place. It was very peaceful. You didn't have to worry about walking the street at 10, 11 o'clock at night. Nobody really messed with you. Now it's different.
Have you ever had the opportunity to meet Caitlyn's dad, David?
I have. I don't know if he'll remember me. Last time I actually talked to him was when me and Caitlyn had hung out. We've been friends for a couple of years, and I met him on a couple of occasions. And he's a very, very strong-willed man. I'll tell you that. And that's one thing I liked about him. He don't put up nobody's crap. He's straightforward and to the point about everything, and he'll tell you like it is. And I love that in people, because I was raised that way. It's really what makes him stick out as a man, in this country. He's very upfront, and he's honest about everything he says.
Great. My last question for you, is there anything I haven't asked you about that you'd like to share or comment about either Caitlyn or the case? I
just really want, to send, prayers and love to the family, to the friends, to just give you guys some comfort and support. If you need anything, I'm not too hard to find. And to let the family know that I love her to death, and I'm praying for y'all. And hoping that this case gets solved sooner than later.